we interrupt our regularly scheduled programming for a Channel 3 special report.
We interrupt this regular broadcast with breaking news from Yucaipa High School. 14-year-old Tracy Odom has been found with illegal substances in the school bathroom. We will now introduce the leaked footage.
I told you you couldn't do that. That's not fair. I didn't do anything. I told you you couldn't do that.
Over here.
I didn't give her permission to do that.
Alright, we'll talk about that later. Said that you had some smoke
I
and
don't
stuff, so.
think that's either.
Alright, well.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you. Do you understand the rights I have just read to you? With these rights in mind, do you wish to speak to me?
No.
No. Alright, have a seat back here for now, alright? Alright, have a seat.
We have reporters that just arrived on scene, and we will now turn you over to Trent Santel. Trent Santel, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm here at the scene with the TLO case. Can I ask you some questions, sir?
Yes, you may.
What was your relationship with her?
I was her vice principal, and she was a freshman.
Okay. How long have you known her?
She's only a freshman, so nearly a year.
What was she like at school?
As far as I know, we've had no problems with her, that's about it.
Do you think she deserves to be arrested?
I mean, it's not up to me. I didn't catch her, but it is up to the law.
Was she a good person in school?
Yeah, as far as I know, no complaints from her teachers, just a couple of classes that she's ditched. That's about it.
What might have made her do this?
I mean, a lot of students have trouble at home. Maybe she was having trouble at home, and then, she needs to release stress this way.
How has this affected the students at your school and others?
I mean, looking at all the students and having them see all what's going on, I mean, it's stressing them out. I mean, they don't need this publicity for their school.
Did she have a past of getting in trouble?
As far as I know, not at school. No, out in public, I have no idea.
Thank you so much. As you can see, she seemed to be an innocent girl up until this moment. I'm here with TLO's best friend, who would like to go unidentified this morning. I'd like to ask you some questions. Is that okay, ma'am?
Yes.
What was your relationship to TLO?
We were best friends since probably elementary school, but she started going downhill.
How long have you known her for?
Since we were little, we grew up together. Our families are friends, so a long time.
What was she like at school?
She used to be good, but she started hanging out with the wrong crowd and got involved in some bad things.
Do you think she deserves to be arrested?
Honestly, it's sad, but I do. She was doing bad things to other people and leading them on a bad path as well.
Was she a good person in school?
Like I said, I would say she used to be. She knew how to behave around teachers and get away with things, but around her friends, she wasn't good.
What might have made her do this?
Wrong crowd, maybe trouble at home. I'm not really sure. Doesn't seem like her.
How has this affected your friends and others at school?
A lot of them have gotten into drugs and dealing and sneaking around and lying, and it's really sad.
Did she have a past of getting in trouble?
No, she was good. I would say probably middle school she started hanging out with some bad kids, and then high school was when she really took a bad turn.
Innocent people turn dark real fast here at Yucaipa High School. Thank you.
Thank you, Trent. Now here is a live look at the press conference that is currently being held.
Welcome to the panel discussion. Here we have Lizzie and Devin, who will discuss the TLO case that has been occurring. Lizzie is for the punishment of the student and against TLO, and Devin is defending her rights but not her actions. The premise of this case was a New Jersey teacher had caught a freshman,
A 14-year-old at that,
smoking in the school bathroom,
which is a complete violation of school rules.
When taken to a school's assistant vice principal, TLO had denied smoking. The conversation led to the adults to search her bag. Upon the search, they found cigarettes along with other suspicious material, such as rolling papers used for smoking marijuana as well as marijuana, a pipe, plastic bags, a large amount of money, and an index card for the other students' names who owed the young girl, money. Now let's begin. Do you believe that the search of the girl's bag violates her privacy rights? This has been a strong conversation topic when this case was brought up.
The search, of course, violated her right to privacy. During the Roe v. Wade case, the court decided that the other rights given to all people of the United States provides the right to privacy. Also, the school didn't have a warrant to search her bag, which defiles her Fourth Amendment right, the right that protects people from unreasonable searches and seizures. In addition to...
Hold it right there. You're not taking into consideration that she was at school. Thus, she must follow school rules. Not only that, but the teacher had probable cause as she walked into the bathroom and was welcomed with smoke. On top of that, Tila was in the bathroom alone. Clearly, she was breaking the school rule. The teacher was in the right. They were protecting the other students, and as a school official, their job is to protect all students, and that was one way to do it.
Teachers don't have the right to search even if they have probable cause. So even if the teacher believes that they are protecting the students as a whole, this was a bad search and her rights were violated.
If she was on the streets, the police would be able to search her. How is that any different? If she was on the streets, the police would be able to search her. How is that any different? They would have probable cause. She's a minor who's smoking and has a drug ring. How are you accepting this?
A police officer actually has the right to perform a search with probable cause. And if this is going on, shouldn't the teacher have brought police in before they decided to take matters into their own hands? We all know that she was smoking, but since the search violated the law and the situation was not handled properly, it can't be used.
What are you not seeing here? There is a similarity between these two officials. Police officers search to protect the general public, where teachers search to protect the general public at school. We all know if the teacher ran or even waited for police, Tila would have dumped all the evidence that would have incriminated her in court. Students don't have the rights they have outside the school. The fact that the teacher had probable cause is good enough. Clearly, there's something that needs to change to ensure the people who are violating the laws and the school rules are punished correctly.
Even if everything needs to change, the search at this point is still considered bad. I can't disagree that she shouldn't have been smoking, but clearly there are laws that are keeping her from being punished. We all know that she is guilty, but we cannot just bypass her rights, which are the only thing protecting her at this point.
Even though the two of you view the law differently, there's a clear consensus that in order to protect the students of the school, the law has to change. Must change to punish the guilty but not violate her rights. Clearly, TLO has her rights, but she violated school rules and must be punished correctly. The Supreme Court will look further into this case, deciding what needs to change or keep things the same. Now this concludes our program.
We are now beginning the press conference for the TLO case. Will everyone please settle down?
Are there any questions? You in the black beanie?
What do you think TLO's consequences should be after this incident?
She has been expelled from Yucaipa High School and will not be allowed to return it for any reason.
You in the green jacket.
Do you believe that searching TLO's backpack was a violation of her Fourth Amendment?
No, I do not. Although it is immoral to search through someone else's belongings, I had reason to believe that TLO had substances in her bag that were not supposed to be there.
Yes, you in the back?
I have two questions. First is, did the second student admit to smoking?
Yes, they did.
And will the defendant's age affect her charges?
Yes, TLO faces delinquency charges in juvenile court. You in the front.
Do you think the way that TLO was searched was handled appropriately?
Yes, I myself believe that the search was handled appropriately. We had reasonable grounds to search her, so we did.
You in the back.
Was the evidence unlawfully seized by the principal?
No, it has not been determined that under the circumstances of this case, the search of TLO's purse did not violate the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution.
You in the front?
Do you believe that this particular case has set a precedent for future cases similar to this?
Yes, the court has created a test to determine the reasonableness of this case, and it will be implicated in the in future classes.
Can students expect some sort of privacy at school?
Students have some legitimate expectation of privacy at school. However, students' expectation of privacy must be balanced against the needs of school authorities and the main educational environment. Yeah.
Will there be consequences for the students that TLO supplied with illegal substances at school?
All students that are suspected to have any business with TLO have been suspended, and the school board will decide their punishment and needs to go further.
Without involvement of law enforcement officials, should the evidence seized be allowed in juvenile delinquency proceedings?
Technically, it was not necessary for us to have law enforcement search her bag. School teachers may act as police, in a sense, in order to protect the welfare of the school. When performing a search, the Fourth Amendment's prohibition on unreasonable searches and seizures does apply to the teachers as much as it does to the police. Since the evidence was determined lawfully seized, it can and will be used in trial against TLO.
And this will conclude our press conference.
You just saw the press conference taking place over the TLO case. We now have reporters on campus asking staff and students how they feel. Now to you, Logan and Eileen.
How would you feel if a faculty member went through your bag?
I'd feel violated.
Do you think that going through a student's bag is unconstitutional?
Yes. If you saw something suspicious, would you feel comfortable going through a student's bag?
No, I would not.
And do you think students should be treated differently than adults regarding privacy rights?
No, I do not. I think they need to be treated the same.
Do you think that you, as a student, should be treated differently than an adult regarding your privacy rights?
No, I don't think so. I think everyone should have the same rights at school because a student and teachers should have all the same rights because why would they have something bad on them?
Do you think students should be treated differently than adults regarding privacy rights, and why?
I believe that we should be treated equally, specifically in the school setting, because if I have the right to go through a student's stuff in case people's lives are in danger, I believe that a principal or security could also have the right to come into my classroom and look through my stuff in case they are suspicious that I have something that can put people's life at risk. So we should all have the same equal rights.
What do you know about your privacy rights as a high school student?
I know that I should. Yeah, no, I don't know anything about that.
Do you feel comfortable going through a student's bag?
I would feel comfortable going through the bags if it puts people's lives at risk. I would.
How would you feel if a faculty member went through your bag?
Honestly, I wouldn't care too much, just because if they're suspicious of me, they should go right ahead. You know what I mean?
Okay. And do you think that going through a student's bag is unconstitutional?
No. Would you feel comfortable going through a student's bag if you saw something suspicious?
If I saw something suspicious, I think I have a duty to, your family, Irene's family, everybody's family, to making sure that the school's safe for people. And I think that it's important for students to understand that they are part of something bigger, and we want to respect your rights, Logan, but also we have to respect the right of everybody to come in a safe environment. So I would hope that through my relationships with people that they understand that my intentions are to make sure that we're making decisions for the group. You know what I mean?
Do you think students should be treated differently than adults regarding privacy rights, and why?
I think we're all human, and I think we should all be treated equally. But again, I think that but people need to understand that when you come onto a school campus, it's not just about you, the individual. It's about the group, and sometimes you do have to be treated differently because we have to have what's in the best interest of everybody. However, we are all humans. We're all part of this great community, great city, great country, and we do have certain rights that we need to be respected.
How would you feel if a faculty member went through your bag?
I'd be pretty mad.
Okay, and what do you know about your privacy rights as a high school student?
I really don't know my rights.
If you saw something suspicious, would you feel comfortable going through a student's bag?
No, I would not feel comfortable going through their bag. I'd feel comfortable contacting security and then putting that on them.
Okay. And do you think students should be treated differently than adults regarding privacy rights, and why?
I feel that there's a slim difference between parenting and then educational rights. So, as a parent, I believe that's your call with your own. As a teacher, I feel that there should be some privacy rights that need to be maintained. However, if there is some suspicion and someone is under the age of 18, I think there could be a little more leeway than there is with an adult to infringe upon those.
Do you think that going through a student's bag is unconstitutional?
Yes.
Okay, we are back, and now we are going to the Supreme Court to hear the final decision.
All rise for the Honorable Judge Ramirez. This court is now in session. Please be seated.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are here presenting court case C-137, New Jersey versus TLO regarding the decision of an unconstitutional search and seizure. TLO, do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Your Honor, TLO pleads not guilty.
Will the defendant on behalf of TLO please give their opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor. On behalf of TLO, she is not guilty because the drug evidence that was found after the illegal search of the purse. Let me inform you that at this high school, smoking was not actually forbidden. It was permitted in certain areas. So the infraction of TLO was not for actually smoking. It was for smoking in the unauthorized area. This means there was no rule against carrying a pack of cigarettes. So if the cigarettes was allowed, what was the reason for the search? Even if the vice principal had seen the cigarettes in the purse, there was no reason for a further search of the purse. So for that reason, I ask her to be not guilty. Thank you.
New Jersey, give your statement for the prosecution.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I would like you to see the defendant as guilty, as she has been searched under reasonable cause, that she was suspicious of having cigarettes under the search that the school officials had done. Found a pack of cigarettes and marijuana. Some might argue that the staff must have had a warrant to search the student, but as the staff, they act as the parents of students. And like parents, they do not need a warrant to make search and seizures. Also, due to TLO's behavior, it is furnished a reasonable basis for the search of her purse. Therefore, the exclusionary rule does not apply. Thank you.
Taking a recess, we will come back with the jury's decision. The jury has found the defendant guilty.
Court is dismissed.
There you just heard the final decision. TLO has been convicted guilty. Now back to your regular broadcasting. Thank you and good night.